If you need to know what's happening with Las Vegas real estate in detail, welcome to my Robnostication for August through September 2023. And I've got the 7-day market update just for you. Let's talk about what's happening with the numbers and what I'm predicting is going to happen next. The future of Las Vegas real estate is right here and right now. See you on the other side. Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me. I'm Rob Howe, and I'm with Elite Realty, and I'm ready to help you when you are ready. I'm excited to bring you this information today because it's starting to unfold just as I thought it would, and the numbers are going to bear that fruit for you today. Also, of course, as I've said, I have predictions for you on what's going to happen next. So if that's what you need to know, then this is reliable information I'm about to give you. If you're missing information like this in your life, would you mind liking this video for me? It helps the algorithm, and certainly if you haven't subscribed to the channel, let's get you on my channel so you can hear more about what I have to say, which is not just about what I think, but about what I know is happening in real estate, okay? I'm gonna jump right into a Robnostication. As I've been saying, inventory is on the rise. It's snowballing ever so much. Right now we have a little baby snowball, okay? It's just starting to pick up a little steam. Last week on my 7-day market update, we had a flat week, which was different than the weeks prior, which were showing incremental increases in inventory and a little slowing down in the buyer activity, which is already low. So what's going to happen if we get even more slowing in the buyer activity and we see a little bit more inventory? Well, it's pretty simple, right? It's going to build more inventory. So look for inventory next month. When the numbers come out for August, look for inventory to be around 1.8 months of supply. I normally would be a little bit more confident about this next Robnostication. But because median price has been a little slippery lately, any little bit of change in movement can make the median price change drastically. In my estimation, the median price should go down because it went up by $9,000 last month, which was quite a jump. And so I think that we see a little bit of a backing down from that, but it's tough to predict right now because there is such low volume that the median price can get, influenced pretty easily. The numbers can get pushed one way or another just depending on what kind of sales you had there. A really hot bunch of properties might push up the number. If there were some properties sold for less, then the median would go down, right? So I'm going to jump to the third Robnostication for you right away, jumping on these things for you today. I'm not wasting any time. New home builders, this is what I want you to know about what they're going to do. They're going to start, if they haven't already, in certain areas, they have already started to offer a little bit more in incentives. The appearance is that they're going to keep raising their prices. And they have. Because what they're going to try to do is keep those prices where they've raised them, but then start packing in more incentives. Certainly they're offering buy downs as far as your rate is concerned, because right now, that's what I'm going to jump to next, is the rates and how that's constraining to buyers out there. So the new home builders know that they can incentivize people to come in with lower rates than what you would get if you didn't have a rate buy down. So a 3-2-1 ARM, everybody gets scared when they hear this ARM. It's an adjustable rate mortgage, but these ARMs these days are different than the ARMs of the past. In this case, a 3-2-1 means first year it comes in at a very low rate, second year it gets a little bit higher, and third year is the final rate that you'll pay for the rest of the loan. And what they do is they make it still lower than the rate that you'd be able to get by maybe up to about 2 points. So, look, you might start at 2.99 or 3.5 or something. Then it goes up to 4.5 the second year. And then the third year, it goes up to 5.5, 6%, something like that. But still lower than the rates that you get today. If I'm losing you at all with any of this, please contact me anytime. I can explain this in detail to you. And certainly we can even go by a new home builder and look right at what they're doing. I'm happy to do that anytime. So I'm going to jump right into what are the rates today. They're up and around 7.5%. Okay, 7.5%. Is the Fed happy with that yet? No, they may not be. They may be raising the rates again. They're saying about a 40% chance. The likelihood of them raising the rate has been going all over the place. Some people think they're not going to, some people think they're going to, and it's been swinging all over the place. So not something you can really rely on. But the bond market, which does affect the interest rates, has been making the rates go higher, and I expect that to actually continue. So we could, even without a rate change, we could be touching 8% rates, even without the Fed deciding they want to kick up the rates. So ultimately, what am I talking about? Why am I telling you all about all this? I think if you're a seller right now, my message to you is if you got to get your home sold, which look, a lot of people are not going to. They're in 3% mortgages. They have a great deal. They have a bunch of equity. They don't want to change out their 3% for a 7% mortgage rate. Okay, we get that, but many people do need to move and are moving. That's the way it goes. Life continues on and things happen and you've got to move, you got to sell. So if you're in that position, you need to get your home on the market as soon as possible, because I just don't know what happens in the future. Now, many people think that next year is going to get better. The rates are going to go down and, it'll be a little bit better for buyers, and there'll be like kind of a log jam in there, and sellers will be back to, getting a bunch for their properties. That may or may not take place, because I have just seen too many rumors, too much talk about this is what's going to happen, and it just doesn't go to fruition. So you have to go with what you know is happening right now. What you know is happening is that we have relatively low inventory. Even though it's going up, it's still relatively low inventory, and it's something as a seller I want to be involved in. And so that's why my advice to you as a seller would be to get your property going ASAP. If you're a buyer, maybe you can delay that and see what happens around the corner. Maybe you just stay renting for a little bit until 2024. If you're moving to Las Vegas and you've got to make that move, well, then you just get after what you can. And if you can do it in the months coming ahead, well, the inventory rising might help you out and get you into a position where you can make a better deal, both on the resale market and from the home builders. So now I want to just jump into my 7-day market update. This is so important to me, and it's really telling the tale of what's happening. It's how I know exactly what's going to happen next with inventory. Right now, I have a bet with Angela O'Hare, who I do her monthly show. We get together monthly and do the market update for the numbers that came out for that month. So we'll do that in September. And we got a $200 bet about the inventory. So folks, I gotta be right. That's why my numbers are so important to not just me, but they should be important to you. Let's jump right in. We got 5,415 available properties right now on the market. Last week, it was at 5,309. So we do have over 100 property increase there. Ba-boom, we got inventory going up. It's not going up like crazy, but it's nonetheless going up. And it's what I exactly thought would happen and will continue to happen. So stick with me if you want to see more of that. Proof in the pudding. Here's the secret, folks. You got to check these numbers on the same day every 7 days. If I check it any differently, the numbers are not 7 days apart. Okay? That's how I do that. So what has come on the market? We got new listings back on market. Back on market means that property came back on market. Maybe it got an offer, the offer fell through, and so they're back on market. New listings back on market and coming soon. Coming soon status is something that you can put a new listing in that status, and it says, hey everybody, here's a line at you. I want you to start the line at the door before you can see this property. It's coming soon, but it's not quite ready yet. Sometimes we can get into those sooner. So it's very important to have an agent that will reach out and talk to that agent. Maybe you get the very first showing, just like I did yesterday on a property for my clients that are in another state. and I was able to go there and film that property for them, and they're very excited about that property. We were the first to see it. That's great. So anyway, coming soon, back on market, new listings. There's 945 of those. That's inventory coming to you if you're a buyer. Last week it was 991, so not going up like crazy, but staying steady, okay? It's been about in those numbers for several weeks, right around, plus 900, right around 1,000 properties coming on the market in those categories. Now, I split the next category up into two last week, and I'm going to continue to do that because it's more detailed and concise as to information that you might need. And that is under contract show, under contract no show, and contingent upon sale. What are those designations? Under contract show means the property has an offer on it, and you can still show it. You can still bring your buyer to see it, but it's got an offer on it, so they might not be able to get in there, but maybe they can put a backup offer. Rarely do these get shown, but that is a designation that I, as a listing agent, can put a property into. Under contract no show means it's under contract and we don't want you to see it. We don't care about your backup offer. And that's generally how you're going to put something into category like that. And then there's contingent upon sale, which is a newer designation. That means that there is a contingency. Usually there's another property that the buyer needs to sell before they can buy that property. And so it's contingent upon sale. They made a new designation for that so that we can keep track of what properties are contingent upon sale. If there were a bunch more of those properties, that would mean to me that it's a buyer's market big time, because it means that the sellers are taking contingent upon sale offers. And those do have more complications, more things that can go wrong, although they can be a great offer just depending on the situation. All right, so there are 717 of those. Last week, and that's inventory going away from you. Last week it was 752. So there seems to be less that is going into escrow, less that's going under contract. All right, in the last 7 days, that tells me, yes, there's less buyer activity, and that would also indicate more inventory might start slowly snowballing a little bit more. Now, the next category is expired, temporarily off market, withdrawn conditional. There were 247 of those, and last week we had 373. So quite a few less that are going into those categories. I'm not sure really what to make of that, but I was putting those two categories that I split up together. So just to stay on point with that, I'll tell you that the combined is 964, and last week it was 1125. So quite a few less properties going away from you. At least that looks like the trend, right? All right, last thing you need to know, how many properties sold in the last 7 days? 586. 586, that is back down. And what I would expect we're going to start seeing, last week it was 607. And the week prior to that, which was a low, was at 552. So we are getting back to that low at 586. We're not far off from our multi-week low of solds in the last 7 days. So folks, looky here. I hope that information helps you out. That's a lot of good, detailed, in-the-moment information. I think if you want to know what's happening next with real estate in Las Vegas, Nevada, you have to know the inventory is the story. So if you're a buyer and you want to get in when it's maximizing your cash, your loan, whatever you're using to purchase a property, then you want to be getting in when there's more inventory. See if that doesn't stack up to be a better year end for you to buy. Maybe it will. A lot of people don't like buying at the end of the year. That's also why I believe inventory will go up a little bit, because if buyers are kind of sluggish like they usually are as we enter the fall and the later parts of the season and beginning of the year, then we're going to see that there's more inventory. If you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate you watching. And next week, I have a whole bunch more for you. So enjoy this week. And in the meantime, remember, I'm Rob Howe. I'm with Elite Realty, and I'm all about houses and you. Folks, I'll see you next week.